Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the NoDQ.com live predictions for the most extreme pay-per-view of the year with a grand total of one extreme match. Extreme Rules 2021. So we got a whopping 6 matches for this pay-per-view. Nothing else has been announced, surprisingly. We're one night before the pay-per-view, and there were no surprises, no last-minute additions. We're going to cover the 6 matches, the 1 extreme match, and the 5 regular matches. Let's go ahead around the virtual room here and get everybody's overall thoughts on this pay-per-view. Scale of 1 to 10, the excitement level. Jerry, I'm going to start with you because you are extreme, Jerry Slaughter. So, Jerry, how you feeling about this show?
If it says extreme there, it's got to be true, right? It's got extreme in the name. I am not excited for his pay-per-view at all. I think it's complete filler. I think it's going to be – I don't think it's going to be that great. But maybe it's like this like weird hope that like during the pay-per-view itself, maybe like Mick Foley will show up and start maybe like different stipulations for matches as they come about. That'd be cool. But I don't see that happening. So I'm going to go with the middle ground. I'm going to say a 5. That's so I'm on the fence. I think it's not going to be that great, and a lot of these matches are super predictable, which is good because we're on prediction video. And but yeah, otherwise, I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
All right. Well, we'll throw it over to the simple man who might get some negative comments for the sunglasses indoors, but it's all good. He is dressed for the occasion, which we very much appreciate. Noah Foster, 1 to 10. How you feeling?
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It's a 3 out of 10. The only reason this show has any invested interest because Roman Reigns is the main event. I'm just kidding. Hey, Virtue, how you going? That's for you. Anyway, hello, everybody in the NoDQ Galaxy. How you doing? I got to get some sort of humor. Are you not entertained? That'd probably be far more entertaining than this pay-per-view. But in all honestness, everyone's going to try and do their best. I'm looking forward to actually seeing what Bianca, Belair, and Becky Lynch can actually do. And the head of the table against the Demon, I'm going to be mutually respectful, just like Jerry. A 5 out of 10. Let's see what we can do to make this show even more fun than it's actually going to be tomorrow on pay-per-view.
All right. Thank you for that, Noah Foster. And unfortunately, he has to follow that, but we're happy to have him back. Arguably the biggest Virtue fan, one of the few Virtue fans left out there.
Short of Virtue.
Exactly. We got Josh Mansfield. How's it going, Josh?
Pretty good, Aaron. Tired today, but you know what? I'm actually going to say I'm going to give this pay-per-view a 7 out of 10. 2 reasons. 1, I don't remember much of SummerSlam because I had too much vodka in my system halfway through the night. So I'm excited for this. Also, we have to remember that this coming Friday starts the draft. So I expect some swerves to prepare us for the draft and rumored things that might be happening. So I expect a couple shocks, honestly. Usually when a pay-per-view build is crap, half the time the matches turn out to be pretty decent. And Noah, you said in honor of Virtue that you were happy, giving it a 3 at least for Roman Reigns. See, I love my boy Virtue, but you know what? My dog in this fight ain't Roman. It's Balor.
Oh.
Virtue's
rage will be engaged.
That's not good on you at all.
He is tired.
Get some rest, Josh.
Would you like some Gatorade?
I got body armor.
I got a bang.
Bang, that's dangerous. Well, I guess not as bad as a V-trigger. Sorry, Aaron, going off topic.
Yeah, we're talking about Extreme Rules here.
Right.
But I think Josh did make some good points, and we do have the draft coming up. Maybe there will be a few surprises. You never know. And when the expectations tend to be low, sometimes we are surprised and they pull out a really good show. Even if it's not the strongest show on paper, it might be a sleeper. It might turn out to be a really fun show. We'll go ahead and give our thoughts and see if anybody has some interesting, outlandish ideas. let's go ahead and get right to the paper. Yeah, probably Jerry Slaughter, but we'll see. Maybe
that's the reason why he's extreme, folks. Buckle up.
I am 5th from the bottom in predictions this year.
Last year.
You are. I have to admit, you're not bottom of the barrel. Poor Jeff.
No.
Well, you know what? Since we're talking about that real quick, let's pull this up. Noah sent this to me. So
Hello.
we can go over it real quick. This is the NoDQ.com Predictions League, which Noah is gracious enough to keep it all together and run it throughout the year. On the left, you see the NoDQ Galaxy members that send in their predictions. And then on the right, you have the people in our inner circle, the NoDQ inner circle. Big G is currently in the lead, but as you can see, me, Caitlin, and Noah are right behind him. And it's still a very close race.
Mm-hmm.
With the
You're
NoDQ
actually in second? That's a shock.
I know, right? I'm surprised. I thought I'd be doing way worse.
I should have brought up last year's graphic at this time. Now that you bring that up, because it was a lot worse for Aaron last year.
All right. Well, let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about the matches. Let's talk about which one should I do first? Which
women's match? Carmella versus
we think alike. I was going with that one, so we're gonna do it.
Oh.
We got Carmella. No, that's not Carmella.
Hi, Matthew from Botchamania. Oh, we're off to a great start tonight. Oh man.
I clicked on their little tiny thumbnails here on the computer, and I clicked on the blonde woman thinking that was Carmella.
The odd thing is, if that was a small thumbnail, I can see how you get Charlotte and Alexa Bliss mixed up with
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
This is
There we go.
Why does Carmella look like a Barbie doll?
Well,
I mean, I'm not going to go there.
but see how I could mix these two up?
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2.
Which one looks better to you, NoDQ Galaxy? Let us know in the comments down below.
All right, let's talk about Carmella's match first versus Liv Morgan. So,
okay.
I'm going to be quick here. I'll go first on this one. I have little to no interest in this match. I really do not care about it. To me, it's a filler match. I'm happy for Liv Morgan that she's getting a pay-per-view match, but I mean, there's just not much going for this match story-wise. Liv Morgan took a loss on SmackDown. She lost to Zelina Vega, who was like 0-30 before that match. And I think Liv picks up the win here, but man, like this could be on the kickoff, and like I just don't have much interest in it. Maybe it'll turn out to be a good match, but going in, like I just don't really care too much. But I will say Liv Morgan picks up the win, and I'll throw it over to Noah now.
Control C, Control V. Aha! It looks like Liv Morgan has to get the win here. She's the sentimental favorite to the audience. Maybe Toni Storm comes out and becomes a new bestie because she's not smooching over Dolph Ziggler. That being said, I feel like it's going to be 50-50 booking. Like you said, Liv Morgan lost on Friday. I got Liv Morgan pick up the win here on Sunday. Kickoff or not.
All right, thank you for that, Noah. And Josh Mansfield, we'll throw it over to you next with your thoughts.
Yeah, Liv Morgan wins this. That's pretty simple. I mean, hopefully this match is on the kickoff. I think it already is, but I mean, it's going to be a quick match either way. Liv Morgan needs the win. Hopefully they keep bumping her because she's good in the ring. She is. So hopefully Carmella can do the job and Morgan gets the win. And who knows, maybe we'll get Liv Morgan versus whoever comes out as SmackDown Women's Champion at the end of the night.
All right, and Jerry Slaughter.
I'm going to go with the majority here and say Liv Morgan, but I think it's also the fact that like Ruby Soho lost her big match against Britt Baker this last time, so Vince will find a way of like making that stick out and just give the win to Liv Morgan, former Riot Squad member. So
I get what you're saying there, Jerry, why they might do something like that. But yeah, either way, I think Liv Morgan is picking up the win here. All right, so we're 1/6 of the way through. We're what, 18%, Noah?
Basically, if you're doing the math, this is easier than Steiner math, thankfully.
that was
My anxiety! How they make that into a Spotify? Never mind. Continue.
All right. So now we'll move on to the other women's match. Well, there's actually 3 women's matches on this show, but we'll move to the other match between the blondes. We got Carmella versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's.
Botch! You said Carmella!
Oh,
Charlotte, Aaron.
Charlotte Flair, Aaron.
I'm not having a good night here.
Professionals here.
Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
Oh, boy.
All right. Josh,
Is she still Charlotte Flair, or is she actually just Charlotte now because they're trying to get rid of the whole Flair thing?
Charlotte Flair
Well,
on Raw,
we'll
okay.
see. We'll see. I'm torn between this because I can see this going one of 2 ways. I can see Alexa Bliss winning to get the title off Charlotte to, send her down a little bit just to get the heat off, her dad and literally everything surrounding that and all the controversy there. I mean, WWE literally took Flair out of their, opening little segment and everything. So I can see Alexa Bliss winning for that, potentially just that reason. But also, yeah, Tito.
Ouch.
But I can see them actually giving her the title because she deserves it. She's been pulling off this Alexa Bliss fiend character, for months now without Bray Wyatt even in the company anymore. Which leads to the other possibility of Charlotte winning, Alexa having a breakdown and somehow breaking out of this fiend character, because that's the only way I can see them getting rid of this character at this point without the fiend there is by a loss and just something happening out of nowhere. I'm going to have to go with Alexa Bliss on that. I think it's her time. She's been waiting to get the title back for a long time, so I go with Alexa Bliss.
All right. Noah Foster, what city is Alexa Bliss from?
Columbus, Ohio.
And what usually happens to hometown people in WWE?
Oh, that's easy. They lose.
All right, so what do you think, Noah?
I forgot it was in Columbus.
Yeah, so that's why, Josh, as much as I loved your statement of why she should be champion, I agree with you on a lot of fronts. I have Charlotte winning. There's no reason to hot potato this again when she just won it back at SummerSlam off Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley in that triple threat match. And honestly, again, with this being the preview right before the draft, one of these two is getting moved to the other show. Whether Charlotte flops titles with the SmackDown champion or Bliss goes play with the SmackDown roster, I just don't see it being Bliss's time to hold a title regardless on either show. She keeps moving merch. She keeps being a mainstay part of the WWE product without being the champion. I like the fact they're trying to make this feel more normal versus the supernatural stuff I expect, especially with a doll involved, maybe 2, like we had on the Angle on Monday Night Raw. And Tito, I agree. I hope we do just for one night get a real, not going to say it, Miss Bliss match tonight like normal before she went supernatural. But regardless, whether we get cinematography involving the arena again in some way, I do have the queen, Charlotte Flair, retaining the gold. In the end of the day, she just has to retain the gold. That's all that matters. Correct.
There could be a screwy finish. There could be any number of shenanigans. But yeah, I do think Charlotte will retain the title. She just won it, SummerSlam, right?
That's correct. Literally, this is the pay-per-view right after SummerSlam. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, but also WWE at the same time is going for that 17 world championships for her. Would not shock me if she lost, but I'm going to go ahead and say Charlotte does retain, whether it's clean or some kind of shenanigans, DQ or whatever. Charlotte will stay champion. Maybe we start to see Alexa Bliss go back to a different normal persona. I don't know. But yeah, I'll say Charlotte on this one. Jerry, what do you think?
I saw a comment a second ago that pretty much sums up my idea, which is Charlotte's going to retain, but she's going to drop the belt to Shayna Baszler at Survivor Series.
That'd be Big G's dream because they finally are pushing Baszler. It seems a little bit more serious since she finally has separated her ties with Nia Jax. Was it a one-off, or will we finally get her to be the champion?
you'll have a couple weeks of Shayna Baszler going around more or less breaking people's arms and going right after Charlotte. As the more arms she breaks, the more popular she's going to get again, and more people are going to start believing that she can beat Charlotte Flair for the belt. So no one wants to see Shayna Baszler versus Alexa Bliss. We already tried that; it was crap.
Yes, because supernatural brouhaha.
Yeah, so Shayna Baszler versus Charlotte Flair. That needs to happen, and that needs to reestablish Shayna as an actual threat, because we're not going to get Ronda Rousey back anytime soon. Thank God.
Right.
Yeah, that was still a crazy match, though. Charlotte Flair could not beat her. It makes you wonder whether they'd make the same approach with Shayna Baszler. MMA.
Although Baszler versus Rousey does sound intriguing eventually down the road.
One can dream, Josh. One can dream.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. That's happening. Ain't going to be for a while, but let's move on.
Unlikely in all likelihoods.
Correct.
Correct.
All right, let's get to the guys now. We got Damian Priest defending the United States Championship against Sheamus and Jeffrey Nero Hardy in a triple threat match. All right, Jerry, since you haven't gone first yet, we'll start with you on this one. Jeff Hardy added to the mix this past Monday when he beat Sheamus, which means Damian's odds of winning drastically go down. What do you think is going to happen in this match? Do you think Sheamus can win the title, or do you think Jeff Hardy will win the title, or do you think Damian Priest will retain?
What I really like about the dynamic of this match is the fact that it's a triple threat match, which means there are no disqualifications, which means you can turn that into more or less an Extreme Rules match, which means we'll have Jeff Hardy like going through tables. We'll have Sheamus probably wielding a chair, and we'll probably have Damian Priest like smacking people with ladders. It'll be turn into a TLC match without the belt hanging up. But in the long run, I think Damian Priest is actually going to walk away with it, and Jeff Hardy is going to be the one that takes the pin.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jerry. I'm going with that. I think Jeff makes the match more entertaining, in my opinion, because he can do some fun bumps and he'll make it more exciting. But yeah, I think he's pretty much there to take the fall.
He said it himself not too long ago. He's there to like pretty much put on a show and just be there for the company. And that's his best way of being there for a company, is to take a pinfall, keep Sheamus remotely strong, but also have Damian Priest still retain.
Yeah, I think Priest will retain the title here, likely beating Jeff Hardy. So Josh Mansfield, you want to agree or disagree with that?
So here's the thing. Usually when there's a triple threat match, someone is there solely just to take a pinfall. We saw that back at Elimination Chamber in the triple threat U.S. title match back then. I want to care about this match. I just solely for Damian Priest, but I'm having trouble caring about this match. It'll be great, but there isn't much that Raw gives to actually be enjoyable. Damian Priest is an exception. I mean, I'll be honest, I only watch Raw for RK Bro. Flat out. Because that's one of the only good things. Damian Priest is an exception. I'm not really a fan of Sheamus right now. I don't like I said it. I'm not really into Sheamus, his gimmick right now. I'm not. Honestly, if someone's taking the pinfall, it's Sheamus. Could I see Jeff Hardy pinning Sheamus to win the title, keeping Priest strong? I could. But I think Priest still needs to retain the title here.
Somebody's doing Snyder math.
Oh, Lord.
Well, the thing is, does Damian Priest really have a 66 and 2/3% chance of winning if Jeff Hardy's not even going to try?
No, here's the thing. The match really should just be between Priest and Hardy. Sheamus is just there as the token heel, just to get his ass beat, and Sheamus has a negative 300 chance of winning this match.
Wow.
You can take that to the bank.
You would bet money on that?
I have no money to bet.
Enough for this match.
My official prediction is going to be Damian Priest afterwards, I feel that there will be an after-match attack from Keith Lee.
No, Keith Bearcat
Bearcat.
Lee.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Ugh.
All right, Noah
Jerry,
Foster.
glasses off.
Glasses off.
Well,
No, just face palm. That's it.
insert
Oh.
Price is Right loser horn sound effect here. Anyway, so you got Damian Priest defending the title as champion against Sheamus and against Jeff Hardy. So each man's got a 33.3% chance of winning, with Damian
Right.
Priest have a 33.4% chance of retaining the gold. So when you add all that up at the 66, never mind. Bottom line, Damian Priest has to hold the title here, in my opinion. I mean, Josh, you literally took the words out of my mouth. The reason you have a triple threat match, you have a buffer and a fall guy. Sheamus, like you said, he is the heel in this. Jeff Hardy, he might pull out a ladder and try and break Sheamus like he broke Gage at WrestleMania 23. One of my favorite moments ever. That being said, I want Damian Priest to continue holding the United States Championship. He just won it again back at SummerSlam. Why do we keep going back to the same old story? And
At least he's not Miz and Morrison anymore.
okay,
Hey. Ho, ho.
Oh, wow.
No. As Miz is Dancing with the Stars, and I would not mind seeing John Morrison take on Damian Priest for this title. I would honestly like to
that
see.
would be fine, especially since Miz is gone right now.
Exactly.
You know?
I would like to see Damian Priest try and bring back the open challenge. Give others the opportunity to showcase what they can bring in the ring on Monday Night Raw, not freaking main event where you always have Ricochet. I know Psycho Jack Black is lurking. I'm waiting for you, dude. Put that super chat up. I dare you. That being said, yeah, Damian Priest is retaining this title no matter what. The title continues to live in infamy by his name.
I'm not a big Cena fan, but yeah, the whole U.S. title invitational thing he was doing for a long time, that was some of the best work ethic he's ever done in the company.
Absolutely.
So seeing Damian Priest actually do that and like elevate his status in the company, that'd be great to see.
All the potential matches that he could have, like the possibilities are endless.
Especially with, again, the draft is literally after this pay-per-view. So you're going to get a refreshed roster, hopefully.
All right. We got 2 matches to go, I think. Or no, 3. We're blowing through this pretty quickly, though. All right. We got the SmackDown Women's Championship. We got Becky Lynch defending her championship against Bianca Belair. Now, Becky came back as a surprise at SummerSlam, won the title 26 seconds against Bianca. Everybody pissed off. They were happy that Becky was back, and then they were outraged about what happened in the match. So now we got the rematch.
That's what the WWE does. It gives you something you want, but then takes away something.
As long as they get your money, they don't care.
Vodka drunk me was happy both ways.
That says a lot.
All right, Noah, we're going to go right back to you on this one to start us off here. Do you think Bianca will win back the title? Do you think maybe she loses and then gets drafted to Raw? What are your thoughts on this one?
I'm kind of excited for this to really see what Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch can do, because both of them are great in-ring workers, and I feel that the promos have been a little, as Tito put it, definitely scripted from Bianca. Hey, at least she's saying more than just, all right, so at least there's that. But that being said, I got Becky retaining here. I know it feels like Becky's becoming Becky Lesnar. People were calling her after the SummerSlam incident, but Becky wanted to be heel. And apparently, due to what I've been hearing, Bianca Belair, she got positive reprieve backstage because of that whole angle. We're going to see what both these two can bring together. Now, whether or not this means Bianca Belair is immediately drafted to Monday Night Raw, that remains to be seen. They might drag this out. You know they like to do that, Aaron. We could get a DQ finish. Now that, again, Becky is trying to be heel, but nobody's truly booing her yet. And yes, this definitely will be longer than 26 seconds. I'll go even 11 minutes, 26 seconds. But regardless, DQ or clean win with that ridiculous Uranagi she does now for some reason, I got Becky retaining.
Yeah. I agree with you, Noah. It would not shock me if it's like some kind of DQ or count-out finish, or Becky uses the trunks to retain or cheats somehow. But I do think Becky will retain the title. Maybe Bianca goes to Raw, but maybe not. Like, I'm still kind of torn about that. I could see her potentially going to Raw and maybe feuding with Charlotte at some point, or maybe she stays on SmackDown and they do one final match to blow off the feud, maybe on Friday SmackDown. I mean, who knows? Like, it could just go in any number of directions, but I do think Becky will retain the title.
And Bianca will crack that whip against the man's chest.
Probably. We'll throw it over now to Jerry Slaughter.
Bianca is going to lose, and it's going to tie into another prediction I have later on in the show, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that.
There you go.
So you're saying Becky retains?
Yes.
Okay, and now we throw it over to Josh Mansfield.
I also say Becky retains. I'll be honest, I don't remember much of when Becky returned. I was half awake during when she returned. And when I thought there was a full match, not just a 26-second squash. So that was my bad. But thing is, the reports about Becky being healed, Becky herself has denied that publicly. Those reports of her wanting to be healed. She's denied that publicly. But I do think Becky will win. And Jerry, I think great minds are thinking alike right now, because Becky will retain. She will go eventually on to feud with Naomi. I think eventually Naomi will dethrone Becky, so that way we get eventually Bianca and Street Profits versus Naomi and Usos.
I like that a lot, the bloodline. Yeah, because it seems like long overdue sub-tangent. Why is Naomi not with the bloodline yet and is feuding with WWE officials, particularly Sonya Deville? I feel like it's just a slow burn, but I do see where you're going, Josh. And another thing to consider is also this. They've never done Belair versus Flair, and they like to keep couples together.
Right, well, they could move the Street Profits to Raw.
Good. They're former Raw Tag Team Champions.
I have a theory about who's getting moved, and it's not the Street Profits. We'll see, though.
All right. Well, let's move on here. Speaking of the Street Profits, we got the SmackDown Tag Team titles up for grabs. The Usos defending against the Street Profits. And I guess I'll start on this one. I think the champions will retain the bloodline. They've been going strong. I don't see them losing at this point in time. Profits are doing well, and again, it might be another case of shenanigans, but I do think the Usos will retain. Should be a really fun match, although I'm not feeling super confident with my pick. The Profits could always win, and then the Usos could win it back at some point, but I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm leaning towards champions retaining on this show across the board. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Usos retain on this one. Josh, I'll throw it right over to you. Your thoughts on this one?
See, this is one where I could see things going different ways depending on what they have planned for the draft. That's always the thing. Because if champions get drafted or if teams get drafted, like last year when New Day and Street Profits got drafted as champions, they just hot potato the belts, literally, in front of us. I'm going to go with Street Profits win. Because I have a bold prediction for later. I'm probably going to get my butt whooped in these predictions. But I'm just going with bold predictions because we need something fun for this regular rules card.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm going with Street Profits, new champions.
All right. Now, Jerry Slaughter, do you agree or disagree with that?
I think the Usos are going to retain, but I think the end game for it should be something completely different. Like, this is where my fantasy booking comes into play.
Get extreme, Jerry. Bring it.
I would love for the fact that Bianca loses her match due to some shady stuff that Becky pulls in the match, and the Profits lose their match because of the same stuff. So they all three get traded over to Raw, but the night they come to Raw, they team up with MVP and Lashley and become the new Hurt Business.
Ooh.
Because you can't have a great Hurt Business without Profits.
Yeah, would they risk turning the Profits heel though? But I kind of like that.
I like that a lot.
That would give MVP enough time to recoup his rib injury, and he could still be on the screen and manage them all. And he'd be like the new manager of champions of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would not.
That is a good one.
See, this is why Jerry Slaughter.
It happened, but it's all right. But the Usos are going to retain.
Yeah, because Vince would just rip up your idea immediately. I love that, though.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Because like Montez, Ford, and Dawkins have proven that they can be heels, and they could be like universally despised and liked at the same time.
Yep.
So. And then, like, Bianca Belair, she's already got that heel mentality to her. She's got the sass and everything. Like, she'd be a great heel champion on Raw if they need one for, like, in a pinch. But otherwise, it makes the most sense to have them team up with Lashley as, like, almost like hired goons. And then, like, have MVP managing them. So.
Yeah, I mean, if WWE had played their cards right, like, they would have been building this up sooner. Like, imagine if they built up the Hurt Business and built up the Bloodline. And then Survivor Series, they did like this ultimate match between the two factions.
That could easily happen too. Even somewhere down the line, maybe even like next year if these storylines are still going strong.
Yeah.
So.
Mike on Facebook thinks that the Hurt Business, or they think the Profits joining the Hurt Business would not work because the Profits are so over as baby faces. Which again, that is a bold move to turn them, but. I think I'd love to hear Montez Ford as a heel and like see what those guys can do. Kind of like the New Day, like go in heel and seeing a different side of them. I'd be really.
I think as well as they could be liked, I think they could do just as well as being hated.
Yeah, good point. All right, Noah Foster. Any other thoughts on this match?
Well, considering how we have seen people literally flip the switch on a dime, I could definitely see Street Profits doing that. It almost feels like, and maybe he acknowledges the other product, Jerry, you might literally be turning the Street Profits into a new private party because that's literally what's happening to them in the AEW under Matt Hardy. So I totally think that could work because they have that same type of tag team chemistry and mentality and outlook, I feel like. And with a big money type manager.
Have a viciousness to them, though.
Yeah.
Once they develop a mean streak to them, they'll be a lot more successful in the company.
Yeah, I agree, because it feels like to be really successful here, you got to have a mean attitude, not just what you bring in the ring, but also what you bring on the mic. So I definitely could see that. But just looking at the outlook of this match, Josh, you bloody crazy. The Bloodline, you can't break the Bloodline when they literally are the guys in the business, the top guys. They're the ones. The Usos got to retain here. It's already just a foregone conclusion, basically, I feel like, what's going to happen with the Dimes. Because, again, I still feel like WWE does not care about tag team wrestling. That's why the only tag team that really matters outside the Usos is RK Bro. And it's not about what they bring in the ring. It's about their entertainment value. But the Bloodline's retaining. There's no doubt in my mind. I would be shocked if that happened.
Yeah, Josh.
I would just say this. Aaron, can you put up a Tito's comment right there? Real quick.
Oh, Mr. Tito's comment?
Yeah. That, Noah, right there, I think is part of a reason why my crazy predictions may just happen. But I haven't even gotten to my craziest prediction yet. We'll get.
Oh, I'm waiting for you to be like, wait, there's more Billy Mays.
Where you're gonna go with it?
We'll wait and see, Jerry.
Well, I think I have a feeling I know what Josh is talking about here with his crazy prediction. So let's go ahead and get to the main event of the evening. We got the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defending against the Demon, Finn Balor. The Demon, he lost, one time in NXT, correct?
Yes, against Samoa Joe at NXT TakeOver The End for the NXT Championship.
But other than that, the Demon has not lost. The Demon is like, in case of danger, break glass.
Yes.
Comes in.
Correct.
He is Finn Balor's great Muda.
And we're all loving that character. What I did not like about the setup for this match is the fact that they announced Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
Gives away that Reigns is not losing the title. They're not doing Balor or the Demon versus Brock Lesnar. Not going to happen.
Now, we already saw what happened with Brock Lesnar, the man. Took on Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble.
All right. So we're going to let Josh start us off because maybe if he's got a bold opinion on this one, it may persuade one of the three of us to go in a different direction.
1 second.
Yeah, you are gonna. Let me say this
Go.
for those of you listening: if you don't have a drink with you right now, you might want to grab one for this. So here's my prediction:
I'm just going to chug
going
this
to
while you
get
talk.
a new Universal Champion in Finn Balor with an assist from Brock Lesnar. And the match in Saudi Arabia will be Lesnar versus Reigns. No title. Doesn't need a title. It doesn't need a title to happen.
You think
You
Brock
really
Lesnar
don't. You have a
would not
storyline
care
enough
at this
there
point?
without a title. What?
I think he
You think-
broke Noah's feed. Oh, no, he's moving again.
Sorry, I went down the wrong pipe. Excuse me.
That's what she said.
Balor's winning, staying on SmackDown.
Keep it PG,
Roman
Jerry.
in the bloodline will be drafted to Raw. That is
Well,
my prediction. Roman in the bloodline will be drafted to Raw. Raw has been in the toilet, flat out. A few weeks ago, I did a fantasy league with Greg Cherry and a bunch of my friends. We did it during Raw. Raw has been so bad lately. If WWE had a choice of which show they need to beef up, it needs to be Raw. And Tito, Fox will be pissed. Fox is already pissed. Like, they have to decide which they need the most. Raw's ratings are far lower than SmackDown's. That's a fact. So, you put Roman on Raw and let Balor take over on SmackDown, because rumor has it is that Lesnar is going to Raw soon. So, that is my very bold prediction. You may tell me how wrong I am. Go for it.
I love your bravery.
We appreciate your bold prediction and trying to think of something that's different and outside of the box, but you're highly
unlikely in all likelihood
to be correct.
Correct.
All right. Let's see if anybody else was persuaded, though. We still got other people to comment on this. So, Jerry Slaughter, any possibility something that Josh brought up could play out?
Not since I predicted that Ronda Rousey was going to win the triple threat match in WrestleMania.
And you made me walk out the room.
And have I seen Noah have that kind of reaction to something so asinine in my entire life?
We should put
Roman
a bet up
Reigns
on No DQ Twitter about this.
But here's the thing. Roman Reigns is going to retain. But what's going to happen with this is Roman Reigns is going to get attacked by Brock Lesnar in the match. He is going to get F5. Demon Balor is going to get a very, very, very near fall. Like, he will kick out the F5, which will, leave Brock Lesnar kind of stunned at the fact that he, Reigns kicked out of it. But then the bloodline will even play a factor in this. Roman Reigns will get like some sort of chain or something wrapped around his fist and nail Demon Balor maybe like 2 or 3 Superman punches to keep him down. And that'll set up for like Lesnar versus Reigns in Saudi Arabia. And even then, Reigns will retain there too, because Lesnar's not going to get the belt put back on him anytime soon, I don't think. So that way, you're kind of protecting Balor in the fact that like it took that much to put him down. And I hate to see the Demon lose because it's not great. I hate the idea of any alter ego losing a match like that. Like, anytime Kaiji Muda turned into Great Muda and he lost a match like that, I'm like, okay, so yeah, this guy that he just fought is very tough, and he's somebody to be opposition with. Roman Reigns has already established that he's the top draw on SmackDown. There you go, Virtue. But I can honestly see Roman Reigns still retaining, because right now is not the time for him to lose the belt, especially since he's pretty much the flag bearer for SmackDown at this point, going through the draft at this point. So yeah, Reigns is going to retain. Balor's going to put up a huge fight, and it's going to be an entertaining match.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the whole idea of Lesnar coming out there and F5ing Roman Reigns, and for him to kick out, that's going to make a lot of people gasp in that arena, and that's what they want. They want that like surprise, like, oh my God, is this going to happen? Like, everybody's holding everybody back, like, it's like,
Right.
But it'll be great.
Yeah.
That'll be the good shit for the night.
Yeah, I mean that could be a possibility. And I don't think that WWE has necessarily booked themselves into a corner. I just think Demon Balor is there to be an opponent for Reigns until they get to Lesnar.
Yeah,
And,
pretty much that's how it is. Like, they're not going to have him drop the title, but then, like, since it's already, showing that Reigns is going to be defending the belt in Saudi Arabia, they're not going to have him drop it to Finn Balor, only to drop it back to Roman Reigns, like on SmackDown or something. That's stupid.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what the simple man Noah Foster has to say about this one.
Again, when it comes to Roman Reigns matches, you don't look at the result, you look at the story. Roman Reigns right now is literally locked down in a feud with Brock Lesnar. And yes, that match will happen for the title at Country Redacted. That being said, this really comes down to Paul Heyman. That's the one guy we haven't talked about at all here, gentlemen.
I love Heyman.
What? What'd you say?
I love Heyman. Heyman's my favorite manager of all time. He's my favorite wrestling personality of all time. The dude can do no wrong.
Absolutely. That being said, Paul Heyman, how does he come into play here if that Brock Lesnar spot happens during the match, which I think would be a massive spot, and Pat McAfee will be the one that will definitely engage us to believe, oh my God, Roman Reigns might lose the title here. Because that's what Pat McAfee does.
That would be it, though, because Paul Heyman would want to stop Lesnar, but at the same time, he wouldn't want to stop the match. He'd just be like somewhere in between there, like, oh.
He was the advocate of this guy for literally 20 plus years, it seems. He and Brock Lesnar basically owned the WWE. That's the bigger story here. No offense to the Demon, like Aaron said, it's a filler spot. It's going to be a moment. We're going to see the Demon face Roman. How far will the Demon push Roman psychologically and physically? How many Superman punches will it take to drop the Demon? Or will he put him to sleep simply with the guillotine? Demon's going to fall at the table. But I'm more curious how Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar come into play here ahead of Country Redacted, because that's the next match coming up. So, yeah, I got Roman Reigns retaining. And as far as Finn Balor, the bigger question here is what happens to the Demon or the man Finn Balor after he falls to Roman Reigns, not once, but twice, at his alter ego and all-time best? Do you simply ship him off to Raw and try and recreate the Fonz in a different way? Probably. Or do you turn him maybe into the crony for Happy Corbin? Or do you send him back down to NXT 2.0? You know?
Do not put Balor with Corbin, no.
Yeah, he could be the smile guy.
Do we know how much time he actually has left on his contract in WWE?
I do not, and that's another thing to consider, too, because we know some contracts are coming up. So...
Right. Dunn just signed another 2-year deal, and I know Finn Balor's been there for a while and hasn't really.
Right.
There hasn't really been any contract talk with him at all. So
no, there hasn't. There's been more contract talk about Kevin Owens than anybody else right now in the WWE, considering his history as Kevin Steen with this. But I digress. That being said, Aaron, yeah, I got Roman Reigns retaining, but the bigger question here is, what will our final image be? Will Brock go with Roman face-to-face? Will Brock come into this match and F5 him maybe 2 times for all we know? Will he come out not once but twice? Will Paul Heyman be in Roman Reigns' corner the entire time, or literally go backstage, or maybe forced backstage by Brock Lesnar? The bigger story here, Paul Heyman, where does your allegiance stand, and how does this come into play? What is the plan at the end of the day?
If I can go late WCW here.
Uh-oh.
Ready for this?
Go for it.
Lesnar versus Reigns in Saudi Arabia for the title, but it's a Paul Heyman on a pole match.
Pole match.
Well, let's go.
Him holding the belt like this. Him holding the belt like this, like suspended over the ring.
Right? Just
let's
freaking
go
out.
SummerSlam 05 here and do ladder match for the custody of Paul Heyman.
Put him up on a forklift. Put him at the very top of the forklift, just watching on from down above.
You'll see.
Put him in a
that would be extreme.
That would be extreme.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, no, extreme.
That being said, to make it simple, while we're fantasy booking the future of Country Redacted, I definitely have Roman Reigns retaining.
All right, Noah, you help me with this part when you do your thing. You know what I'm talking about with the country. So Gabe sent in a $5 super chat. He says 3 words for
Country redacted.
triple threat match. Viking Lesnar interferes to let Demon Balor win. So there you go. Gabe sees it a similar way. Maybe they do a triple threat, but I'm thinking probably not. My gut feeling is I feel like
is the proper word right there.
Michael Wayne is so not happy with me right now, and I'm finding it entertaining.
Michael Wayne is like, stop. He's in all caps here. Stop it with Russo style WWE.
I'm just having fun right now because of how poorly built this pay-per-view card is, and with the draft coming up, something crazy's got to happen. So why not this?
You know what, Josh? Why not be a dreamer? There was a show once called The Twilight Zone where anything was not normal happened. So, hey, you know what? Your stuff might actually work.
Now, Mike has a question for Jerry Slaughter. Will they find a pole strong enough to hold Heyman up?
It would probably be a winch. Like a cherry picker for a transmission just hanging over the ring.
I hope it's a stronger pole. You know, they should not hire the guys that put together the SmackDown announce table this past Friday.
No, that was bad. And next thing you know, Mattel will turn it into a play set.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Marketing.
Probably. There's doubt.
I mean, is Mattel angry with WWE? How's the toy sales going?
They've already had the ambulance that breaks apart and everything, so why not?
There you go.
Oh yeah, wasn't there controversy? Some woman was mad that the ambulance toy was making fun of first line workers.
Yeah,
like that.
Their name was Karen or Deborah.
Probably.
Sensitivity. That's the society we live in. Shout out to Johnny Bravo.
Cancel that ambulance.
Oh Lord.
I'm not sure I gave my prediction, but
you didn't.
I'm going with Roman Reigns to retain. It's hard to bet against Reigns, so I don't bet against him.
Yeah.
That's like the number one rule in WWE. You don't bet against Roman.
I broke the ultimate virtue rule too. With
You
this.
did. You did.
I'm wearing the Fire Virtue shirt.
You dishonor
Virtue's
Rage. You dishonor Virtue's Rage. Shame upon you.
I'll get trolled. I'll get trolled by him for this, I assure. But you know, I still love my fellow.
Repent, Josh. Repent.
Ohio brother.
C'est la vie. Shout out, by the way, to Mrs. Rip. She gave me her predictions. I told her, and I quote, don't put too much thinking in this. She predicted Liv Morgan, Damian Priest, Becky, Charlotte, Reigns, and Usos. And honestly, I feel like you would be foolish to do any other predictions besides this. This is the easiest 6 points I've ever seen in my life.
Today is pretty much, KISS, KISS. Keep it.
You get 6 points, and you get 6 points, and you get 6 points.
Now,
I'm about to get my butt kicked in this, but
hey,
I'm just doing it for fun.
If there's a lot of shockers, then you'll be pulling ahead a little bit.
If Josh's prediction is right on the main event match, I know the big Bálor isn't here, but Josh, I will literally wire you $100.
Whoa!
There it is.
Bank on that.
You heard it here, guys.
I'm a man of my word.
Balor wins. I get $100 from.
I got enough money to spare. I just bought a house. I got enough money to spare.
That
must switch then. What the hell, Noah?
Hey, Jerry needs a new Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, if I'm going to be part of this no DQ game party, I need a Nintendo Switch. So
okay, I'll put you on my Christmas list here. Nintendo Switch.
You're not even
done. No DQ Twitter official.
Hey, how about this? No DQ Galaxy. This is the Superman Noah Foster speaking to you. I will give one random person in the top 20 of the No DQ guys at the end of the year $100 gift card to Pro Wrestling Tees. So do your best.
Oh wow, that is that's quite generous there, and that's some incentive.
We're going to have to get you the $1 million title just to put on your shoulder there, Noah.
I mean,
I'm thinking about buying it, actually. I already got 3 titles. I'm thinking about buying that. And 3 No DQ shirts, because, again, shout out to the brand. Represent No DQ.
Big G didn't even show up tonight, so I guess
Big G's married now.
Big Bálor.
He's married now.
He's got priorities, Aaron. He doesn't have time for sports entertainment. He's got priorities.
Who Big G?
He's a married man now, Aaron.
He's at a show.
Oh, yes, he is at...
That's an excuse.
He's still there.
You got something called a phone, folks.
He's like repping no DQ. He's just repping Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he doesn't have a no DQ shirt at the event, so we might have to take away
the clutch shirt and one of your guys' shirts, okay?
Aaron, in my defense, when I went to SmackDown in Cleveland in July, I wore my Natalya and Tamina shirt, hoping they'd see it and sign it, but they weren't even on the card.
I thought you said you were going to wear a no DQ shirt there.
No, it was back in July.
Fire Josh.
See? What?
Hold on. Time out. To be fair, you can't represent anything non-WWE and WWE. Remember, you'll get the shirt inside out or you'll get thrown out the building.
Yeah. And you know what, Noah? I don't blame you for not wearing a no DQ shirt at Impact because, well, nobody watches Impact.
No.
Yeah, sad to say. Sad to say.
Aaron, we thought this. Pardon me.
You all right over there?
I'm good.
All right.
Chokes on predictions and chokes afterwards as well.
Oh, Lord.
But here's the thing. We thought that this was just going to be an old boring, blah, blah, whatever. We get through this quick predictions video. But we are having the time of our lives right now with this.
That's all that matters as a fan.
And
our predictions, for the most part, were a lot alike. But at the same time, the way the people win the matches that's where everything lies. So that's
the storytelling. How you make the storytelling fun.
I like what Michael Wayne put up there, the WWE draft predictions. That is something that will be very interesting with the draft coming up.
Yes. Well, we already know one person that's definitely going over because they spoiled it. Drew McIntyre.
Well, now the ratings.
Oh, we got a cat.
We're just going to keep it on the cat for. Oh wait,
the cat's content.
No, he's like, and that's 10 seconds.
My cat is currently banned from the basement for bringing up a mouse the other day upstairs, and then bringing it back down here and eating its head off.
Oh, wow.
Well, we just went from pro wrestling to the, what is it, Animal Planet?
National Geographic.
Yeah, maybe National Geographic, American cats and their habits. And my big old brown dog's just sleeping downstairs, so he's all good.
He's not that they're American, okay?
We're talking about America. We're going to America here. America.
He's one of them Saudi Arabian cats.
No. You're talking about country, doctor. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All
right, you guys ready for some plugs?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Let's see if we get any more super chats while we do it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've already, Josh, have been the talk of the chat.
All right, so Josh, we'll start with you. Anything you would like to plug or promote for us?
So please go follow my YouTube channel, Joshamania, my Twitter right there, at CatholicJosh122. My Joshamania Twitter is at Joshamania2019. My Joshamania partner, Tyler Talley, follow him at TJTalley25. And then like Joshamania on Facebook. I didn't get around doing predictions for that channel this week. But thank you again, Aaron, for having me on. Hopefully, eventually, I'll get back to writing more for NoDQ.com. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Been a while.
Apparently, Virtue thinks the column section needs to be beefed up. He doesn't think Mr. Tito's cutting it.
Ooh.
I mean, he's not, but that's besides the point.
Whoa! New NoDQ debate. Josh Manfield versus Mr. Tito. Book that match.
Hey, you know I'm Team Virtue when it comes to Tito versus Virtue. You know I'm Team Virtue.
I'm not going to argue that. A shout, by the way. Yeah, you're right. He is at a show. Big Bálor G representing the head of the table with his Mrs. Bálor representing the Usos. So they represent the bloodline. Respect.
He started making lowercase G's. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, keep it PG-13. They're not that edgy yet in WWE.
Wow, let's go up rate. All right, that's cool.
All right, Jerry. Jerry, you're up for your predictions. What you got?
All right. For my plug.
Gotcha-mania.
At Gerald JSJ on Twitter, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR
exclamation point. Don't forget it.
And I'll also be on here Thursday night disagreeing with every damn thing Virtue says on the No DQ review.
That's going to be good television.
It always is with me, Noah. You should know that by now.
I work with you, of course I do. Lord have
Mr.
mercy.
Tito just said, I don't even have to appear on these shows to be talked about. Thanks, guys.
Hey, just keep doing what you're doing in the league. Just keep doing what you're doing, Mr. Tito. You're doing great in the league, and hey, keep being you.
All right.
Oh,
so Noah,
Lord.
that leaves you with your plugs.
Well, first off, let me get Big G's predictions out here. I might as well represent the team here that comes out. So he's like, I'm going to go with Street Profits, Damian Priest, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Roman Reigns to retain. So he literally went with all the same things as us. That being said, folks, you know what I'm about besides a great botch. Wrong graphic. Wrong graphic.
All right,
I'm going to drink after this.
Off the rails!
What happened? We've lost all control and sense here.
I got it now.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. So we've already gone extreme, way more extreme than this pay-per-view. Jeez. But you know what to do, No DQ Galaxy, new and old. You know the old saying. The form, as of right now, is live on my Twitter. So if you want to know more about me and join the league, know this. I'm just a simple man and a live botch.
No, I was just trolling you on that one. Go ahead.
That
was great.
That is a troll.
That's true right there. Hi, TJS. Anyway, folks, you know me. I'm just a simple man, a lifelong fan of wrestling. I can't believe I'm about to hit 5,000 followers. Wow.
That's awesome, Noah. Congratulations.
Thanks, I guess. I didn't know I relate to pro wrestling to so many people. So
You
want to know?
may get verified before Aaron.
Yeah,
I highly doubt that. I've never even asked, okay? Anyway.
They'll still verify you before me.
I still think you should be verified. You've been doing NovaQ for 20 years. I've been on Twitter for 3 years. Anyway, find me on Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram, and in Foster1916. Keep following my civil YouTube channel for all things wrestling. South ATW family on Twitter. We'll be doing a new ATW View, our podcast that we once in a while talk all things wrestling, rants, predictions, bookings, outlooks, etc. I'll be covering more of the G1 Climax 31 for New Japan Pro Wrestling fans shortly after this video goes off the air, ahead of tomorrow morning's show as well. I'll be back with Jeff Meacham Network to work with him more on NWA and Impact Wrestling, especially for Bound for Glory coming up in the next month as well. And as always, I'd like to close. There are no winners, there are no losers, there are no bears. They're just fans with their own opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another and respect each other. And just like us did tonight, just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. Simple as that. Good luck to everybody on your easy 6 points. Josh, you're a crazy man. Botch. Great product. This has been brought to you by All Elite Wrestling. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Aaron.
Tim Ross.
Good God almighty. A slobber knockover match ahead this Wednesday as we literally will have Jungle Boy taking on Adam Cole, baby. But I digress.
On WWE Dynamite.
Botch. Anyway, yeah, and I'll also be back with Cindy G as I do weekly reviews of her now on AEW Rampage on the Turnbuckle Network. So stay tuned for more on that. I just keep doing more and more things related to wrestling every week. Jeez.
How are you going to move into your new house if all you're going to be doing is wrestling podcast and work?
I'll figure it out. I mean, heck, I'm crazy enough to not go to sleep and wait for the G1 that starts literally 3 a.m. in the morning standard time. So, you know me.
You'll just be moving stuff in little by little.
I'll work on packing after the G1 tomorrow when I come home from church. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah. This has been a lot of fun, guys. Thank you. One last thing before Aaron signs us off.
Okay.
As I always say in the comments, I'll say here, all hail the queen of no DQ, Caitlin.
There you go.
I'm sure she appreciates that. I'll let her know in case she turned off the video. I'm not sure if she's still listening or not. But anyways,
I mean,
by now too.
it went off the rails. It went off the rails, and Caitlyn's one of those that I know likes to just, do her own thing. So, hey, shout out to the ladies of No DQ, as always. Respect.
make sure you guys check out the other projects we got going on from the No DQ team members. I might as well throw in some other plugs. We got Sun Goshik, who's always doing some cool stuff. Check him out. Jargo, who's been on the No DQ review a couple of times. He's coming into his own with us.
Nice.
He's got more projects. Of course, the one and only Troll Slayer Virtue, who's out doing non-wrestling stuff tonight, living his life.
Trolls.
And our good friend, the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. Make sure you guys follow him as well. And you guys know I got to give him a plug because he's got a lot of content out there. Good old JM Jeff Meacham, the Jeff Meacham Network.
Yeah.
That's all I got for the plugs tonight. And, of course, I'll be doing the live coverage on NoDQ.com. Thank you, guys. And make sure you give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And just spread the word. Tell a friend. Take care, everybody. Enjoy Extreme Rules. And we will see you all next time. Have a great night, everyone. Take care. Peace out.
Extreme!
Not really, but I digress.